Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, in the previous video I made, at the tail end of it, I demonstrated what an IR does to the sound of my voice. And here's a quick recap of what it does. I'll play a sample of me speaking without any IR, and then I'll put on the IR. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. 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 So it's kind of interesting. It sounds like someone threw a blanket on the speakers when you use an IR, and the tonal range has been altered, so it's a little bit more nasal, and the high end is not as crisp and it's not as clear. Generally, the detail is lost, and it just goes with any IR. It's not just this particular IR or anything. I went through a couple of dozen IRs just to make sure that it wasn't just that one in particular or a couple of them. So anyways, what I did, I've been messing around for the last couple hours tonight, and all day I've been thinking about how I can come up with a solution to not using an IR, because it just takes away all the detail and the brightness and the clarity of your guitar just based on what it does to my voice, like I've shown. So I started messing around with different EQ settings, and I landed on 2 low-pass filters, and I basically just reduced the highs even more, because the thing about an amp sim without a cab IR is it's just a wall of fuzz, right? So you hear that and you're like, okay, it's high end. I got to reduce the high end. And the mid range is actually pretty reasonable right away. I thought it was going to be harder to dial in the mid range, and the low end wasn't too bad either. But the high end is what I had to play with the most, and I just landed on using 2 rack effects in TSE. So I'll give you a little sound sample of what it sounds like. I'll compare it to Catharsis IR. So turn these guys on. Here's just like a thrash riff I recorded. Okay, now here is the Catharsis Cab IR. It's kind of remarkable that I'm just using 2 low pass filters and it sounds actually better. Like, granted, it's not amazing and it still needs some fine tuning to get it, mastering ready, but the clarity and the brightness is amazing. I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to switch back and forth between the 2 low pass filters and the cab IR just to show you the difference in clarity and the muddiness in the IRs. So yeah, the one without any IR, it sounds a little bit boxier, but that mid range is actually very good in a mix because that's gonna cut through. But yeah, that's really no problem. You just scoop out a little bit of the mids and you're set. But it's kind of crazy. I'm not using any IR. It's just two low pass filters. So I don't know. Like I don't know what to say. Like did I just break the matrix or something? Like is this mean IRs are dead? If that's all you need, then I mean I'm probably not going to go back to IRs because it just sounds a little bit more immediate to my ear as well. It's not as slow. Like there's a certain lag with an IR as well because it's just one extra step being processed throughout the chain, right? And especially when you're playing guitar, like a lot of people that have an extra cab loader and that puts on CPU demands. So it's just a little kink in the chain and it slows down the output. So if you just have two low pass filters though, that's not really anything to be processed because an IR is actually like it's shaped in a certain way, whereas two low pass filters are just, you know, that's it. It's just cutting out the high end and that's it. It's nothing to be processed and it's part of the package. So yeah, just the way it responds in your hands and the immediateness and the tightness of it, it's a little bit faster. It's hard to explain, but to me it sounds a little bit faster. One more time here. So you heard how much static that removed, right? That's what an amp sim sounds like normally. It's just a wall of fuzz and static. But all you have to do is put on two low pass filters and just reduce the high end a bit, and it actually solves it. So pretty crazy. Like I'm gonna try and shape it some more and do some more work. But a lot of it has to do with how good the DI is, though. Like if you look at my waveform, it's nice and fat, and I'm using the compressor pedal, and I set the interface pretty hot. It's just before half kind of thing. So that's another reason why I'm able to get such a clear signal, and it sounds good. But yeah, I mean, that would sound good on the IR either way, I guess. But that's part of why it works. So yeah, hope you guys learned something there. You can actually just not use an IR. You can use two low pass filters, and it sounds more like your guitar. You know, it's like that's the thing is maybe this amp sim isn't the right one. I'm actually using the green channel. Where am I? Yeah, I'm using the green channel here. So yeah, guys, hope you got something. Try it out and let me know what you think. Maybe you can improve that technique and we can get rid of IRs because what a disaster it is to sort out IRs and just go through all those and just waste time and money. You know, if you can just use two low pass filters and it sounds more accurate to your guitar tone and it's just a clearer source. It just sounds more defined and precise and it has more crispness. And yeah, I mean, why not just do that than waste time with IRs? It just slows down the responsiveness and the CPU puts CPU demands on and just makes it a little bit laggier in the sound. It doesn't sound like if you listen to the way that those gallops sound like there was like a certain tightness to the one without the IR. It's very, very immediate and it sounds like a DI track just with a little bit of sizzle. Whereas the IR, it sounds like a process kind of thing where there's some sort of like delay or lag with it when you put an IR filter on it. So yeah, hope you got something. Maybe we can I'll go into this further in other videos and think of other things I can do to improve the sound. But for now, it's actually pretty impressive. Like it's beating the best IR that I've ever tried, and I've tried thousands of IRs, and all I have to really do is just shape out the mid range a little bit, and it's pretty much good to go. Yeah. So yeah, hope you learned something, guys. Have a good day. Cheers. Thank you.